So while nothing is green outside yet, it doesn't mean that growers are not thinking about the planting season. Tamas Houlihan joins us. He's the executive director of the Wisconsin Potato and Vegetable Growers Association. He says there's a lot of preparation that goes into a successful growing season, even from an association standpoint, not just on the farm. As Tamas meets with his grower and industry members, he says there are a few key themes that come to the forefront for 2025.
And each grower is a little different, whether they're growing for the fresh market, grocery store sales, whether they're a chip stock grower for Frito-Lay. We have, our French fry growers for McCain Foods, and they all have a slightly different niche. We have our seed production region in Anago, and so we've got all these different segments of our industry. But I would say one of the biggest things going into this season is just technology and how technology has really improved our industry, and it's helped with environmental stewardship. You mentioned water quality. Well, the more we can do with soil moisture sensors and with weather data, we can really fine-tune our irrigation scheduling and put on the right amount of water at the right times. Same with nutrient applications. With better technology, we can really do what I call prescription farming, where you're hitting the exact amounts at the exact right times and really optimizing your production, whether it's potatoes or peas or beans or sweet corn. I mean, we do represent all these vegetables in our Wisconsin production systems.
Tamas, give us a visual here when you're talking about agriculture technology. Is it the drone, and how big is that for people who haven't, been in front of a drone? Is it a laser on some kind of piece of equipment? What are you talking about?
It could be any and all. I mean, we do have some presentations on laser sprayers that can eliminate weeds. And it's amazing how accurate these little lasers are on like robotic pieces of machinery that roll down the rows, laser burning off the weeds. And, there is environmentally friendliness in action, too. It's no chemicals. It's a laser. And it's pinpoint accuracy. Talking about drones, I mean, we've seen presentations on those. We're seeing more and more crop inputs applied with drones. They don't have as big a payload, obviously, as an aerial applicator or a big ground sprayer, but they certainly have applications in, heavily saturated soils where you can't get a ground rig in. And maybe if we've got a wet growing season like we did last year, the aerial applicators are too busy. And so some growers are saying, I got to be able to go when I got to go, and they're getting drones and they're using them for their, chemical inputs in a lot of cases.
You also highlighted research. It's not just the technology, but it's also your research partners with people on farm, maybe the commercial side of the business, and also the University of Wisconsin. What's been the most surprising piece of research that you've seen since this time last year?
Another really good question. Yeah, well, we're doing more and more with water quality topics. And there's a new professor in the Department of Agroecosystem Science at UW-Madison, Dr. Stephen Hall. And he is taking a look at some really interesting projects. One of them involves removing vines from potato fields. After you kill the vines, you can remove them and then convert them into biochar, which is another great, like a compost product to enrich the soil. And Dr. Hall has also done some work with liquid cover crops. It's a certain type of substance that can also reduce nitrate leaching, and it's all aimed at water quality. And those issues are always in the forefront for our industry on this sandy soil in central Wisconsin. So we need to constantly look at ways to be better at irrigation and to reduce the leaching of nutrients into the groundwater.
A lot of what we've talked about today has been about community effort. It takes a village. It's not just the people who are growing potatoes and vegetables. It's the people in research. It's the people in agribusiness. With everything that you guys do, including water quality and watersheds. And I know that's been a big focus for growers who have volunteered to come together to make a difference.
Yes. Collaboration is the key. It's such a great word in our industry, and it's so true from all the different aspects. We work together to try to create positive outcomes in our industry. And yeah, whether it's university people or agency people or, private businesses as well as the growers, we all have a seat at the table and we work together and we're all stakeholders. We all want clean water and clean air and good food. And so, yeah, the collaboration is really evident here at our grower conference and industry show in Stevens Point. And it's kind of the watchword for our whole industry is we all have to work together. It takes a village.
And if people want to learn more about what the association is doing, where's the best place to go?
Probably our website, wisconsinpotatoes.com. And we have another one that's very environmentally oriented called farmersforcleanwater.com. And so I would recommend both of those sites. If you're just interested in the food, go to eatwisconsinpotatoes.com.
Several ways to connect with Wisconsin's potato and vegetable industry. Wisconsin is the largest potato producing state east of the Mississippi River. We rank number 3 overall for potato production. Tamas Houlihan joining us. He leads the Wisconsin Potato and Vegetable Growers Association. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Stephanie Hoff.